Pep Talk.
All right, and welcome back to the Be Positive Music Show right here on SiriusXM channel 154 and Holy Culture Radio. It's your host here, B Plus, and yes, you heard correctly. It is halftime. That means we are making ready for today's Pep Talk. But before we do that, let me get you guys caught up with what you heard during the second quarter of today's show. That was the Black Legacy Month set. We're going to be doing that during the second quarter of all the shows for the duration of February. So I hope that you guys are ready for that. So the first song that I played was Black Reconstruction. That was by Propaganda, Shobaraka, and Lecrae. The next song you heard was by KB, and the name of the song was DNOU, which simply means Don't Nobody Own Us. And the third song that I played was by Malachi the Truth. The name of the song was Black Dance. I think the very first time I heard that song was right here on Holy Culture Radio during Father's Day of last year. So you guys got to make sure that you are tuned into Holy Culture Radio, because you're always going to find dope brand new music. So with that being said, let's go ahead and switch gears and let's hop into today's Pep Talk. Now, if you are a regular on this show, you know I talk a whole lot about the importance of community. And even if you don't have a good community in your vicinity, right around you, there are ways that you can find good community. And you can do that through podcasts, through books, through listening to sermons, through music even. So there's a lot of ways to get around good community. And I have like a virtual community. There's a group of podcasts and preachers that I listen to on a regular basis, and I kind of consider them like my virtual community. And I feel like they all kind of teamed up on me, and like one day after another, I was getting good wisdom along the same line. So let me tell you how that kind of started off for me. It started off because my wife and I were watching the Basement with Tim Ross. Very, very dope podcast. I'm actually wearing some of the merch for the Basement, the Press B t-shirt. I'm wearing that right now, but I'm a big fan of the show, and he had Tim Ross had his cousin on there, which is Lecrae, and they were talking about how the effect that reality TV can have on people. It can do one of two things. It can either numb your pain, or it can cause you to live vicariously through another person. And they were talking about how we do that, or not how, not all of us, I'm saying we, as some people in the body of Christ, we do that with our pastors. And it was a really good conversation. And then like the next day, I was watching Southside Rabbi, and that's with Ameen Hudson and KB. And they were talking about how a corporate culture has seeped its way in the church. And it's not really a counterculture, a kingdom culture that we're supposed to have in the church, but we're starting to kind of follow after a corporate culture, and things are becoming a little bit more about entertainment. And even KB was very vulnerable and said that even he feels like sometimes he's a part of that, and he's trying to steer himself away from that. And he talks about that a whole lot on the show. He has an upcoming book. I think it's called Dangerous Jesus. So I'm going to be a lookout for that. So then I watched maybe the next day, maybe that was last Saturday when I watched that. Because then on Sunday I went to church at Embassy City here in the DFW area. And Pastor Tim Rivers was talking about 4 groups of people when it comes to Jesus. And he was talking about how, number one, you have haters. The example of that in the Bible were Pharisees. Number 2 group of people that he mentioned were groupies, and those are people in the Bible who were just around for the fishes and loaves. Modern day people who are just running around God just for a miracle, and just so they can kind of get the scraps of a miracle. And then he mentioned a third person, a third group of people that are believers. Those are people who receive miracles and they genuinely are following Christ. But he brought up an interesting point. He talked about how when it came time for Jesus to be crucified, and they were looking for people who could vouch for him, where were all those people? Where were the 10 lepers? Where were just the centurion whose I believe his son got healed? Where were all these people who got these miracles who could have maybe vouched for Jesus? So that was the third group of people. And then the fourth group of people were just his true disciples. And I feel like all these 3 different shows that I watched, well, 2 shows and one message on Sunday morning, all kind of pointed to the same thing. Just really examining why we're going to church, why we're truly following Christ. Is it just for a numbing sensation? Is it just to live vicariously through our pastor? Are we just going there for entertainment? Or are we just going there because we want the fishes and the loaves and we're just a Christ groupie? or are we truly following Jesus Christ? So I like how the Lord does that sometimes. Things that you're listening to in different avenues, in different areas, are all kind of ganging up on you and pointing you in a direction. So I just wanted to share that with you guys to make sure that we are in that group of four that Tim Rivers was saying, the fourth group of people who are true disciples and really getting after the Lord. So I want to leave you guys with that. I hope that you guys are having just a blessed week, and I hope that you're able to take that and carry that into the future, just because it's very important that we are minding that we're keeping our mind on the community that we keep. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into some more music. Let's see here. We have a very dope song. The name of the song is Church on Every Corner. The name of the artist is Trutha, and you are tuned into the Be Positive Music Show. I'm your host, B+. Don't you guys go anywhere, and you guys keep it locked.
The worst thing you can do is take advantage of the poor. How you making a meal but still begging for some more? Why you begging for some more? You don't need no more. The worst thing you can do is take advantage of the poor. How you making a meal but still begging for some more? Why you begging for some more? You don't need no more. It's a church on every corner, still a whole bunch alone.
All right, and welcome back to the Be Positive Music Show. I am your host, B+, and I am very, very excited because we have reached the top 5 of this list. And if you're asking what list am I talking about, then clearly you have not been checking out the Be Positive Music Show over the last month, because in mid-January I kicked off this list, and this list is the top 25 times a rapper and a singer have combined their forces and put out a dope album in the Christian hip-hop space. I like to call it the top 25 rap/sung songs of 2022. I'm also very excited that we're coming to a close with this list, because that's pretty hard to say, and I've been having to say that for the past month. Quite honestly, I have to practice in front of the mirror every single time before the show just to make sure that I nail that. So very excited about that. A little bit of the backstory of how this list came together. I love rapping. My wife loves singing. So last year I started around August of putting together a playlist of the times where a rapper and a singer have gotten together and combined their talents. And after a while, the list maybe got to maybe 15. So what I ended up doing was adding a few more songs. And I just want to give my wife a shout out, because she has very, very good taste in music. So I debuted this, like I said, a month ago, and now we are at the top 5. So we are at song number 5 right now, and the name of the song is Jireh, My Provider by Limo Blaze and Lecrae and Happy. I hope that you guys enjoy this one. One of my favorite collabs of all of last year. You guys keep it locked right here.
Jehovah Jireh, you give me peace, you give me purpose, my provider. And when my enemies surround me, got me tied up. When they throw me in the pit inside the fire, you are my God and my King and my I'm not overthinking nothing, I ain't got no plans. Time is ticking, people switching, fathers missing, murder victims, rappers dissing, women pimping, doing tricks for bands. I don't even put eggs in the basket for real, they'll turn you to Lil Humpty Dumpty for real. Don't be longing for love that nobody can give, gotta love on yourself and nobody is need. Once I get the vision, I see it for real. I wanna show love, but they hate me for real.
All right, it's the Be Positive Music Show. It's B+ here, and we are at the top 3 of the top 25 rap/sung songs of 2022. But before we hop into song number 3, let's talk about song number 4, and let's talk about song number 5. Now, song number 5, like I said, that was Jireh, My Provider by Limo Blaze, Lecrae, and Happy. Song number 4 was by Aha Gazelle and Main. The name of the song was Hard to Find, one of my favorite songs of the year. If you have not checked out the music video for that song, it's very fire. It has like a Miami Vice type of vibe to it. Then it kind of has like the Spanish guitar in the song. Just a really, really fire collab by Aha Gazelle and Main. And now it's time to turn our attention to song number 3. And song number 3, you've heard him on the list before. Actually, you've heard both of these artists up further on the list on different songs, but they are collabing on this song. The name of the song is called Deep End. It's by Mike Teasy, It's by Bats. I'm very excited for you guys to check out this song. If this is your first time checking it out, it's a fire track. This is the Be Positive Music Show. You guys keep it locked as we round out this top 25 list.
I just jumped in the deep end, the deep end, the deep end, the deep. I just jumped in the deep end, deep end, deep end, jumped in the deep.
I just jumped in the deep end. I'm drowning slowly. I'm sinking. The light is fading. I'm blinking. Bash, what was you thinking? You did it all for a Lincoln. See the light in my eye and I was shrinking. Lost it all in a weekend.
I had Cartier my lens. I've been trying to keep this joint sags. I lost most of my friends. Bringing back the old me is too toxic. It's too tough, but I ain't had no options.
Like a rose to a thorn, here I stand. And if the sun doesn't shine, that's God's plan.
We're putting Christ on display and representing the kingdom every day, all day.
That's right.
Holy Culture Radio. Let's get it.
All right, it's your host here, B+, and this has been the Be Positive Music Show right here on Holy Culture Radio, SiriusXM channel 154. As always, I really do appreciate you guys rocking it here with me these Saturday afternoons or early evenings, depending on where you're listening from. But unfortunately, we have reached the end of today's show, but we have not reached the end of the top 25 list just yet. On the way out of today's show, I will play the number one song, the number one time I believe a rapper and a singer have collabed in the year of 2022 in this space of Christian hip hop. So you guys want to make sure you stick around for that. But let's talk about song number 2 and song number 3 on that list. Number 3 on that list was Deep End. That was by Mike Teasy and Bats. Very, very fire song. The next song, number 2 on that list, was As I Am. That was by 1K Few featuring Jonathan McReynolds. And Jonathan McReynolds is kind of like, he's like the modern king or prince or whatever you want to say of like that R&B, that rhythm and praise, that gospel urban, whatever you want to call it. Jonathan McReynolds just really does a great job of just conveying his faith through his music. Just a very, very fire song. I really love how they ended that song. What did 1K Few say? He said that when he got his call, wasn't a conference call. Like, either way, you're going to have to accept him for how God made him. So I just thought that was a very, very fire track. The whole album that 1K Few put out really caught me off guard. Really, really nice album. So that was song number 2, and I'll hit you guys up on the way out with the number 1 song. I have a lot to catch you guys up on. It kind of feels like the church announcements. Make sure you guys go over to my YouTube, type in B+ Music. I have a ton of Christian hip hop content over there for you guys to interact with. I just did a recap countdown of The Truth. Now he goes by Emmanuel in his new project entitled Emmanuel. So you guys want to go and check that out. Also, make sure you go over to Twitter. You can follow me there at DJ_B_plus. I love interacting with all the fans, all the artists over there. So you want to make sure that you do your best to follow me over there. You can get a heads up on all the stuff that I have planned over here on the show. Also, you can go over to Spotify and you can type in Be Positive Music Show, and you can find playlists of all the songs that I played last month in January, all the songs that I'm playing right now in February, and you can also find the full top 25 list that I just rolled out for you guys. So you want to make sure that you do all of that. Do I have anything else before I head on out? I feel like I'm missing something. Make sure you guys go over to holyculture.net. We have a ton of information over there about upcoming concerts. There's a lot of artist interviews. There's a ton of information about a lot of the other programming we have on Holy Culture Radio, 24/7 Christian hip hop. So make sure you guys go over there and do that. I'm just stalling right now because I'm trying to make sure that I don't leave out anything, and that because I have my notes here. I have so much going on, trying to make sure that I have everything covered. But enough of the stalling. The number 1 song, in my opinion, of a rapper and a singer collabing together, the song goes by Love So Sweet. It's by Chastity and Portia Love. I'm going to play that on the way out. I hope that you guys enjoy that. So for all my SiriusXM listeners, all my Holy Culture listeners. I really do appreciate you guys kicking it with me here today. I am B+, and until next time, peace in, confusion out, and be positive.